This is the main thing for this meeting is scheduled for. Like I had incomplete knowledge about the application process.
So, hello, Preet. Welcome to the podcast, and thank you so much for being here. So, how's your day?
Hello, Dendep. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing good so far, so good. So, like, how's the situation there for the COVID-19? Is it settling?
The situation in Germany as of now, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The situation is getting better
Mm-hmm.
day by day. We are taking precautions on daily basis, and it's been implemented everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
be it supermarket or public transportation and public places everywhere. Yeah.
As you know, this podcast is basically for the aspirant because the people who have already applied or rather who already have the admit, so will have the understanding about this. But people
Yes.
who will apply in coming days or coming months for the masters in Germany, for those
Mhm.
people we want to share the experience, and you being the applicant in the beginning and now doing your masters in Germany, so I just want you to brief about your
Yes.
profile, like what profile you have, then when you started for your application and everything, one by one. So just for now, you introduce yourself.
Okay. Okay. My introduction. Basically, my name is Preet Soni. I'm from Kolkata, India. I have done my school and colleging both in Kolkata itself. And after my college, I moved to Pune, Maharashtra, for my work. I had a 3 years of work experience at Tech Mahindra as a manual and automation engineer. And after that, I moved back to Kolkata and worked there with a startup company. So in total, I had an experience of 3.5 years. So that helped me in my profile, in improving my profile. But apart from that, I had been trying for Germany since 2018, winter semester.
Okay.
Okay, so it was not an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I started with learning German language
Mm-hmm.
from A1. So it was 2017 when I learned German.
Mm-hmm.
Then I prepared for my IELTS.
Mm-hmm.
I prepared for GRE because I had not much knowledge about the application process, and somebody told me something and I just grabbed it and I moved blindly.
Okay.
So I studied for GRE. I invested 3 months for that.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the exam, and uh, this is the main thing for this meeting is scheduled for. Like I had incomplete knowledge about the application process.
Yeah.
So after applying for 1 or 2 semester, I got to know that GRE was not at all important for me,
Mm-hmm.
for the colleges I was applying for.
Mm-hmm. It is not that mandatory, but if you have it, again, it will
Mhm.
boost your profile.
That's a good thing.
Yes, yes.
That will boost your profile. Right.
Yes, so I because I want to get to the next point. You know, as you said, like you prepared for GRE and you gave IELTS and German classes as well. So would
Mhm.
like to brief about your profile, like what profile you have in terms of the academics and the extracurricular activities.
In terms of academics, I my college score was 7.42 CGPA, and apart from that, I did many internships.
Mm-hmm.
The first be I did in total 4 internships, starting from Eastern Railway Workshop, that is in Howrah, West Bengal.
Mm-hmm.
My second internship was at BHEL Bhopal, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited.
Mm-hmm.
My third one was at National Thermal Power Corporation (NTPC), Kalgaon,
Mm-hmm.
and the fourth one was in Pune itself. I worked with an automotive electronics company,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a very good certificate, and I got very good knowledge. And I would like to highlight about this certificate.
Okay.
So it's very much valuable if you are working somewhere and getting a training or internship. So if you have that thing in a certificate, so you'll be able to show it to the universities that yes, actually you have did these many things, and you can uh, go more ahead, and you can contribute to the university actually.
Right, right. So in a brief, if I would say that in bachelor's, you did
I
bachelor's in
did bachelor's in electrical engineering.
electrical engineering, right? So
Yeah.
bachelor's in electrical engineering, 7.7 plus CGPA. So
Photo. Yeah.
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 So how was the like? How much was the in the VPD itself? Like, did you get the VPD for your CGPA,
In the
or
VPD, it was 2.5.
it was two
In the
point
VPD, it
five?
was 2.5. So it is very much average. So it's just the starting criteria of many colleges.
Right.
Like they just need 2.5 and below. So I was at the just the benchmark level of
Yes.
2.5.
Yes, because
So apart from this, you have you got so many things. So that will boost up your profile. We'll come to this one by one.
yes, sure. Because
Yeah.
this is something students are very upset about, because whatever question comes in
Yes.
their head is regarding like what are the minimum requirement in terms of GPA,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
differs. Again, it differs. So we'll discuss that in detail in later. Like, like
Mhm.
how you started. Like, what was the German language proficiency you were having, and what was the IELTS course you were having,
Mhm.
and how did you sort the universities, and how did you select the intake? Because it seems that you joined the summer intake, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so
So basically, I would like to say one thing that regarding my application,
mhm,
my exams, and getting certification courses, I did everything by my own,
mhm,
with my own money, with my own time, and working in Tech Mahindra. So I did everything parallelly
mhm,
by working at the daytime and studying at night or getting up early morning. And we had lots of tasks along with that. So, so for the first and foremost thing, you
mhm.
need to be motivated to do anything.
That is true. That is very true.
Yes, yes. So if you have a motivation, you have an ambition, you have a goal, you'll achieve it anyhow.
Right.
Be it sooner or later, you'll achieve it. So I prepared for IELTS and GRE on my own.
Mhm,
Yes, my friends and all, they help me in this, in succeeding this, with the notes. And there are many tools available online
mhm,
where we can study and we can analyze ourselves. We
mhm.
can give mock test, and we'll get to know from there that how much do we stand, where do we stand.
Right. Right.
So I cracked IELTS on my own, studying on my own.
Mhm,
Then after that, I started learning German level A1,
mhm,
which was quite difficult for me because I had my study, the classes, German classes at in morning
mhm,
from 8 a.m.
mhm,
After that, I had to go to work,
mhm.
and after that, gym. After that, come back to home and cook food and sleep, and again. Coming to the next point, after my German A1, I studied for German level A2 on my own. I
Okay.
didn't go for any classes. I didn't attend any classes. I
Mhm,
just took the help of internet. You have Google, you have YouTube, you have lots of resources. There are thousands of channel who are teaching you German level A2.
mhm,
Just buy yourself a good book.
mhm,
I used Netzwerk level as well.
mhm,
It was very good according to me. So yeah, and for the German B1 exam,
mhm.
my friend, he got passed, and I got stuck because I got very nervous in the
Mhm,
exam.
mhm.
So I didn't clear the German B1 exam, but I am German A2 certified.
Okay.
So one thing I would like to add here also, like when you go for exam, don't be nervous at all, because this is just a test, and like any usual test, you have to be confident enough.
Right, right. This is something which is very important, right? The German
Yes,
language
absolutely.
proficiency, the basic German language proficiency, it is something which is very essential in terms of having
Mhm.
the daily vernacular or the daily,
Mhm.
ongoing in Germany. Again, like,
Yes.
you did the A2. I understood the B1 was a bit tough. It is something which depends on the condition,
Yeah.
how you set up your mind. But again, about your
Yeah.
course and the university, like how did you choose, and then how many universities you had applied for, like, while doing the
Okay.
application.
So coming to the university application,
Mm-hmm.
in 2018 winter semester, I applied. I was very actually I'm very crazy for automobile and all.
Yeah.
So I thought of going to an automobile sector.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I thought of applying to a master's that is, related to automobile and automotive domain. I thought of applying to some colleges which have automotive or automobile based
Mm-hmm.
uh, coaching
Mm-hmm.
facilities. So I chose TH in Ingolstadt.
Mm-hmm.
There we have a course known as International Automotive Engineering.
Right.
Then one more was there, Hochschule.
Right.
It also have some automotive courses.
Mm-hmm.
So after applying and after getting rejections in that college,
Mm-hmm.
I got to know that it's not at all easy to apply with a basic profile and the profile and the course which you're applying for. If it is not relevant to your profile
Mhm.
or something what you have studied in your bachelor's,
Mhm.
then you'll get a sure rejection.
Right.
So, for a chance to get an admit,
Mhm.
you have to see what the course requires.
Right.
Like I applied for a master's in embedded system design.
Mhm.
So in the section requirement section, every uni mention what they're requiring and what they want from the candidates.
Right.
So you have to look for what they're asking
Right.
and be precise enough. Like some college mentioned that we want these many credits for a subject, or these many like you have to study this subject in your bachelor's. For to apply to any college,
Mhm.
we should first see what match our interests.
Right.
Okay, so our interest matters a lot in
Mhm.
this, because if you don't like a course, and there's no point of applying blindly.
Right.
Just because you have to come to Germany, you want to study in Germany,
Mhm.
you'll apply to any sort of course, any sort of subjects, and then you'll come here and then you'll regret, why did I came here? Why did I choose this college, this course? Then that's not a point.
Mhm.
That's not a valid point actually.
Mhm.
So just first see what match your interests.
Mhm.
Then after seeing that, just go to the course website. Like if it really appeals you, if you fulfill all the requirements, and if you come under the criteria, like some colleges they mention, like we want students for mechanical as well as electrical.
Right.
So I am from electrical, you are from mechanical.
Right.
So we both can apply for it.
Right.
But there might be some subjects,
Mhm.
specific subjects, such as mechatronics or something,
Mhm.
that the college prefers more.
Right.
So that's the main thing. Yeah, you have to look for.
Yeah, basically the requirement should match your profile, even though like the
Yes,
area
actually,
or
yes.
the credits or the subjects which should be in comparison with the current program that you're applying for. So like, what about
Actually,
the
yes.
program that you're studying now, and what about the university? Like
Mhm.
how is your experience till now about the program and the university?
Okay. Okay. I'm studying masters in embedded system design at Hochschule Bremerhaven. This is a small town, Bremerhaven, in the Bremen state. The uni is good. We have visited many times, but not as to attend the classes, just to roam around.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because due to the Corona pandemic, everything is shut. The classes, basically the entire summer semester,
Mm-hmm.
has been made online.
Mm-hmm.
So just we don't know what about the exams,
Mm-hmm.
but our classes and the laboratories, the theoretical classes, everything is online.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers conduct the sessions on Skype.
Mm-hmm.
They give us prior meeting appointments,
Mm-hmm.
so that we schedule and we just sit in front of the laptop
Mm-hmm.
and we attend the classes.
Okay.
The standard of study
Mm-hmm.
is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite high. Actually, these colleges, they are basically University of Applied Sciences.
Mm-hmm.
So they teach us those things that are meant to be applied in the real world scenario.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like we are working on projects which uses cranes in the real time environment. The teachers tell us to design some projects, like we have to implement in real time. We have to take data from the websites of the crane manufacturers. Everything should be accurate, everything should be to the point.
Mm-hmm.
So at that level we are working.
Okay.
So this is just our beginning and we are working at that level. So
Okay. So
the quality is quite good. Yeah.
it is bit in depth, I would say, right? The way you're describing it.
Yes, it's actually in bit depth. Yeah.
Okay, so like I just wanted to understand about your course, or rather, like what kind of subjects or curriculum or modules you have in the
Mhm.
program that you have chose, so that if anyone wants to apply for that, they would understand it bit clearly.
Mhm. So my course is, as I said, embedded system design.
Mm-hmm.
So it mainly focus on the embedded system technology, which is very popular nowadays since a long time actually.
Mm-hmm.
Embedded, if I want to say in a layman's language, it is applied everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
from your mobile phone to your TV, your laptop, your washing machine, your fridge, everything in the cars, in every industry.
Mm-hmm.
So embedded is the base technology
Mm-hmm.
for each and everything. Now we have the course is designed
Mm-hmm.
in 3 semesters.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 subjects in the first and 5 in the second.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we are working on the VHDL, It is
Okay.
very high speed integrated circuit data language.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, we have subjects like ITMBS. We have subjects control system, which is very important.
Right.
And I would like to mention one thing
Mm-hmm.
about MATLAB.
Right.
MATLAB, as I studied in my bachelor's, so at that time it was not given much importance. We just did the MATLAB in our laboratory classes just to pass the lab, or just to get marks for our task or assignments.
Mm-hmm.
But here, MATLAB is everything. We
Yes.
have so in-depth study and work on the MATLAB, and I'm actually studying at home regularly, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can learn MATLAB, I can utilize it more, and I can implement it more in my projects and assignments.
Yes, yes, that is a
So
very good
one
advantage.
thing I would like to recommend to our fellow friends
Mm-hmm.
who are aiming to come to Germany for maybe electrical or mechanical or automobile field, please learn MATLAB. So please, I would like to suggest you guys, like apart from studying German, please focus on learning, developing your software coding languages, because coding is given a very good preference here. So you have to be good enough at, maybe you can learn any language so that you just have an idea about how coding works or how the flow works. Like you can go through Java, Python. There are many courses available online on tutorials point, on Java T point. Just go there and give it time, because during the lockdown phase we have so many opportunities. We can learn many things online.
Yes, because the point which you mentioned about MATLAB, it is something which is very important, and we tend to neglect these things because in
Yes,
terms of applying for university and
yes,
getting the good university, but apart from getting the good university, you need to have skills to cope up with it once you begin, right? And if you don't have the
actually,
prior knowledge, how will you score the good marks like once you start
yes,
your studies? So
yes.
this brings me to the next point, like how like one can improve his profile for the application and for the studies as well. Like if we look a package, like
Okay,
when we apply for the application, like for masters, we need to have some extra skills that you mentioned, like
mhm,
internships or extracurricular activities.
yes,
But apart from those,
yeah,
what extra skills can be showcased in terms of the application process and again for the studies or the part-time job, like apart from
yeah.
German
The
language?
first time, first point I would like to add is publish some research papers
Mm-hmm.
with a relevant field of what you're studying in bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
So that is quite important,
Mm-hmm.
because if you show something that you have actually worked on it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have done research or you have published some papers, so it's very important. The colleges, they give preference to the students. I've seen many profiles and online
Mm-hmm.
in a Facebook group also,
Mm-hmm.
that people who have published research papers,
Mm-hmm.
they get a higher chance of admit. And the
Okay.
second point is job experience.
Right.
After completing your bachelor, don't sit idle at home.
Mm-hmm.
Please engage into yourself into some activities of, in a field that is relevant to your profile, or in a field that you want to study higher. Like
Right.
if you want to study like in an automotive sector,
Mm-hmm.
so join, try, at least try or apply for internship or a part-time job or a full-time job in an automobile based company,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can just brush up your knowledge and gain more practical experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's very much helpful here,
Right.
because here we have applied sciences, so that will be relevant and that will be very helpful.
Right. So, like, if you have the experience, certainly you can showcase that up with your German language
Yes,
skills, and
actually,
you will
yes.
be
Mhm.
able to fetch a job there. Right. It might be a part job, it might be a full job.
Yes,
So that is something which is very important. Again, like
yes,
you might have
yes.
did your research when you were applying for this Hochschule Bremerhaven. But like, what did you speak with your seniors like in terms of part-time jobs availability around the city, or like what are the post-studies job chances once you do the
Okay.
masters? Did you do this research when you applied or when you chose this university?
No, at that time I was not in much contact with the seniors. But after coming to Bremerhaven in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
I got much knowledge about the part-time process and the experience of our seniors,
Mm-hmm.
like what they are going through and what they went through
Mm-hmm.
when they were working and studying at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So according to them, if you want to focus on your studies,
Mm-hmm.
so please prioritize what you want to do.
Right.
If you want to get a good marks and just get good knowledge, and so please avoid getting a part-time job, because just do everything on your own,
Mm-hmm.
so it's quite difficult. If you have some leisure time, or if you are free enough, if you're motivated enough, you're confident enough that you can do well on any exams, so that at that time you can just join the part-time job. Yeah.
So it's
Yes,
like it's
correct.
on individual, rather whether he choose to upskill his skills, or whether he choose to do part time job.
It depends upon the yeah, student itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so if someone choose to get the money back if he has loan to get returned, and if someone choose
Yeah.
that he just want to upskill himself and doing some extra skills or extracurricular activities, then it is on individual. What did you notice a difference, once your first impression, I would say, what is your first impression when you reached Germany, and the culture or the surrounding and the environment? What was your first impression that you had?
So after coming to Germany, I came to Germany via Qatar,
Mm-hmm.
Doha, Qatar, and I landed at Frankfurt Airport. So after stepping out of the airport, I saw everything was clean.
Okay.
Everything was silent. You can see the vehicles on the road,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no horn.
Okay.
People don't horn
Mm-hmm.
or don't honk
Mm-hmm.
blindlessly. And the silence was very awkward actually,
Okay.
because I was not used to that silence in India. And after coming to Frankfurt, it changed.
Yeah, in the beginning, everything seems a bit difficult to digest because we are not habitual to that. But again,
Yeah, it was quite very difficult.
yes. But I just wanted to sum up this podcast by asking you what is your advice for the coming aspirants for the masters in Germany, so that
Mhm.
they are well prepared for the application process and for the studies as well once they complete the application process or get the admits.
Okay. So first and foremost is stay motivated, because if you got this in your mind that you want to come to Germany, so do it anyhow. Be it sooner or later, you'll get the admission maybe this winter or next summer or next winter. That's not the case. But please stay focused. Give importance to your profile, and check your weak points where you're lacking. See your rejection. Please don't get hampered by your rejections. Just contact the your friends or anyone on the Facebook if you see someone from the same college that I got rejection on this basis. So they'll elaborate more that what is your weak point, or where did you lag, or what you don't have that point that college is demanding. So please work on those points, then learn German. That is at least very important. If your college does not require German language, then also please learn it. Because if you come to a small city, in this city where I stay, people mostly say German. There are many less people. There are very few people who speak English or understand English. So learning German in India, it was quite helpful for me. And if you get admit to a college that is in a small town, so it will be quite difficult uh, to ask the road directions or time or the bus or the train or the platform. So it will be very challenging if you come here. So please learn German, then try to publish research papers. That's quite important. Then get a job experience, do a part-time job or a full-time job, and get certificates. That's because if you are doing something, you have to show off. That's it. You have to show off that I have this certificate, I worked on it, and I earned it. And this is the only thing by which the college or the unis will get to know that you have worked on something. And apart from that, there's one common mistake which we tend to do. We copy blindlessly SOPs and LOMs, letter of motivations and statement of purpose.
Right.
We copy them blindlessly. And plagiarism is a very offensive thing in Germany, because they take it very seriously. They don't like people just blindly copy paste things, and they don't have anything on their own, and they are not productive in, at least in this thing, what they will do in the college. So please make your own SOP. It will take time. It cannot be done in one day. uh, it took me around 1.5 months to make my SOP, and just go through it continuously. Give at least 1 hour daily to your SOP, so that you improve grammatic wise. Like you have to convey your emotions, you have to convey what you did, what you want to do, and what knowledge you have, or how you can implement, or how the studies can help you, how the studies can help the world, or the Germany or India, whatever. And apart from that, go to the course website and see what they are offering, the subjects, and be specific to the point, and make individual SOPs or LOMs for every university. Don't make a common and just copy paste and send them to all. So that's a very wrong point. Just make unique SOPs for all. Do some research about the professors who are teaching, or the faculties who are already there. Because if we get to know something about them, we'll do research more. And if we mention that in the SOP, that the work of this professor or this guy motivated me a lot, and this will quite helpful. This will be helpful for it.
Right, you're correct, because SOPs for it should be different for each course you're applying, because each
Yeah,
course will have different
it's not
modules.
a joke. SOP is not at all a joke for anyone. So
Right.
take it very seriously. Get LORs, letter of recommendations, from your teachers, or from your workplace. It will be quite beneficial.
Yes, because LORs can be a bit standard, because you will not get multiple
Yeah.
LORs, but the
No.
SOPs or the
Yeah.
letter of motivation, it should reflect your
Yeah.
motivation for that particular course.
Yeah.
So if you're applying for
Actually,
10
yes.
courses, then the motivation will
Mhm.
vary, because the modules will be different,
Yes.
right?
Actually,
So
yes.
that is very important point. That is very good point. But again,
Mhm.
before again I before I end this podcast, I want you
Mhm.
to answer two questions. First thing, do we need to go to consultant? And second, does it matter whether you have financial stability for doing masters in Germany? Yes, for sure you need some kind of stability, but if you get the education loan for the masters in Germany, can you repay
Mhm.
that? So these are the two questions I would like you to put your views on, so
Okay.
that the
Yes.
aspirants who are a bit worried about these questions may have the clarity.
Mhm. Okay. Regarding the first point, the consultants. Consultants, according to me, is a strict no.
Hmm.
You don't at all require consultancy services for getting your admit to Germany. Uh, you can do anything and everything on your own, because the consultants don't know you better than you yourself.
Right.
So you have to do research on your own. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook. There are many such Germany the groups, the Bharat in Germany group, and we have YouTube channels, and we have Google to just get very much knowledge about the courses, and the application process, the SOP templates, and everything. So do everything yourself. There is no such need to go to consultancy services and just waste your money, because they'll fool you. They'll just give you stupid reasons why you won't get admits, and why you won't be able to go to this country or that country. So that's not at all recommended from my side. And regarding the second point, the finance services. So basically, it's a difficult thing for most of us in the finance department, because for coming to Germany, if it's a public college, we need to show at least 10,400 euros in a bank account for to get a visa approval and to survive 1 year in Germany.
Hmm.
This is quite difficult task for many of us. I understand that, because all fingers are not equal. Many don't have that financial background. So I would like to just suggest one thing, that you can trust yourself and go apply for a bank loan. The government is supporting very much nowadays. They are giving interest-free loans in which you don't have to give any mortgage or anything. There's no require for any collaterals.
Hmm.
And apart from that, if you come to Germany, if also your interest has been started, you have the advantage to repay your loan in 1 year. So that I have seen people who have come to Germany. They did the course and they repaid their entire amount in 1 year itself, and now they are just saving and just sending money to home, supporting their families. So there's nothing to be afraid of. If you don't have enough bank balance, so please you can take help from banks. They are always ready enough to shed off, providing loans and all. So please go for it.
Yes,
So that's
because
from my side.
yeah, because the reason I ask you these two questions, because the students are like a bit confused where to go, where to seek the guidance from, and the
Yes,
obvious choice is consultant. But again, we have to pay them money.
obviously.
But that, again,
Yes.
if someone has crunch of money, then that is something we should avoid, because we can do things on our
Mhm.
own as well. As you
Yes,
said,
we
like
can. Yeah.
you did the most of the things on your own. Most of the things, I would
Yes,
say all the things on your own. So that
all
is
the thing. Yeah.
something we can we can be motivated from. And the second is of course the loan, and or the financial stability or the financial stand. So yes, the loan is
Hmm.
very good option, because the banks has started giving the loans without mortgage if you had the admit from an international university. And again, if you do your
Yeah,
research, you
absolutely.
might be able to have the internship scholarship as well. So this is something which is every student should go and do their research to get the admits and the
Mhm.
financial stability. And again, the reason I got to thought about like to have this podcast is because we need the motivation. The motivation is key to success. And if we don't have motivation, if we don't have
Yes,
examples to be motivated from, then it is bit difficult for us to
yes,
get motivated. And
yes.
you being an
Actually,
example for us, it is very easy for us to get motivated from, to motivated about the masters
yeah.
in Germany. So I'm really thankful that you accepted my proposal to have an podcast, so that the aspirant for masters in Germany could have clarity how they should go and proceed for their applications and masters, like for masters,
Yes,
and what they can expect when they have the admit, or rather they start their studies in Germany. So thank you so much for
yes, right.
to join this podcast.
Thank you to you too for inviting me,
Yes,
and have a nice day.
yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.